People do often ask me, how do I do it all with being a mom, a wife, a friend, a volunteer, content creator, business owner, like all the things. And the truth is, I just run my life like a business. I focus on what moves the needle and making the most of the time that I do have. It's really not about doing it all. It's about making the most of the time that you do have without burning out, stacking up your tasks, creating routines, and romanticizing the everyday moments. From 2021 to 2023, I was a part of a $25,000 mastermind where I sat in a room with 6, 7, 8-figure business owners, founders, CEOs, women that built something from the ground up. And I learned so much during that time, mainly how important the back end operations and procedures are to the overall success of a business. As fun as creating content and being in front of the camera is, there's a whole backside to building, which is truthfully why I'm creating this new series to show a real look, not just earning an income as a stay-at-home mom, but also how to do it in a way that doesn't make you feel like you're running in circles, you're barely getting any sleep, and you're burning out. No, thank you. So if you're new to this channel, hi, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Let me quickly introduce myself so you have an idea, my experience, and my point of view. I'm Mandy, a 36-year-old stay-at-home boy mom to a 2-year-old. Before having my son, I built a 6-figure business from the ground up as an Instagram strategist. I worked with a variety of female business owners and entrepreneurs on creating a custom Instagram strategy that would attract their ideal clients and convert into new customers. I also started a business with a makeup company in the network marketing space at the same time. I ran both of those simultaneously and found great success in both. Once my son was born, I knew I ultimately had to make a choice if I wanted to be a present mom. So I decided to put my social media business on hold while pursuing my business with the makeup company. In that time, like I mentioned before, I was part of a top tier mastermind where I learned marketing, operations, sales, and more, which ultimately made me into a better business owner in that makeup company. So now that I am a full-time mama and still with the heart of entrepreneurship, I'm taking what I learned in those years working my business, being in that mastermind, and applying it to my everyday life. And this is ultimately how I'm able to post multiple times a day on multiple platforms, earn from multiple streams of income, all while being present for every moment with my little, spend time with my husband, volunteer at church, attend events throughout the month, and still get 8 hours of sleep because your girl needs her sleep. So in this video, I'm gonna be sharing my 3 best practices for running your life and your business like a CEO. Before we get started, I'm excited to share that a portion of this video has been sponsored by my amazing video editing team, The Editor's Connection. This very video was edited by them, giving me back precious time in my day to focus on tasks that only I can do, giving me peace of mind. They've worked on a multitude of niches such as beauty, fitness, marketing, lifestyle, and more. Whether it's help getting your reels edited quicker or creating amazing video edits like this, The Editor's Connection has you covered, and I cannot recommend them enough. Okay, let's get into the first best practice. Tip number 1 is to stack your tasks to maximize your time. The reality is I don't have time to film content whenever I want. And I know you're probably thinking, Mandy, you're literally sitting in your office recording this video for YouTube right now. And I know you're totally right, which I'll get into how I made this happen later on in this video. Instead of waiting for the perfect quiet moment to get things done, I film my life as I live it. And technically that's tip number 2, but we'll get there. And when it comes to the back end operations like crafting emails, writing out captions, managing the behind the scenes, I make the most of these small amounts of time that I do have. Let's first cover what I do when my son is awake and needs more of my attention. This is the time I get things done around the house, such as cleaning, laundry, and making meals. Only when he's reading books or having some independent play do I respond to a few simple tasks like DMs or check a few emails. But the majority of the time, this is when I get things around my house and life done. I also abide by a cleaning schedule, so I'm not trying to clean the whole entire house over the weekend or putting it off because the tasks seem too daunting. So my current schedule looks a little something like this. This is where each day I'm focusing on a different part of my house. Rooms like the kitchen obviously get cleaned more on a daily basis, or I'm grabbing my little hand vac to clean up some crumbs or dog hair. But there's one day a week where I do more of a deep clean, really getting into the corners, pulling shelves out of the fridge, cleaning down the sink drain, stuff like that. And these tasks take as little as like 30 minutes or an hour at the most. And in the grand scheme, it just makes my home so much better to be in and live in overall. When I'm cleaning, I'll pop in one AirPod to listen to a podcast or a team training, something that is going to help me progress in my business. stacking that task. The same exact thing goes for laundry, cooking meals. All of it is done while my son is awake and I'm listening to something at the same time. Also, while he's awake, we'll run errands. Duh. We usually do that in the afternoons because it's an opportunity to get out of the house. And if you're a toddler mom, you understand. I don't feel like I have to explain it. So depending on the project, content, or the strategy that I'm currently trying to do in my business, I will film to capture real life moments, whether it's playing with my son, doing chores, cleaning, cooking, running errands, etc. I'll get deeper into this topic later in this video, so sit tight. Speaking of working a business during nap time, I have very strict boundaries for myself and for my friends, my family, that nap time is my office time. I'm not responding to texts unless it's urgent or like super important, scrolling my phone, or doing any tasks that do not pertain to my business. And on the next level to that, I'm not doing anything that can be done while my son is awake, such as answering a few DMs or comments on a post. These are super quick tasks that can be done in just a few minutes. During my office time, I focus on more time-consuming tasks that really need my undivided attention, such as crafting emails, responding to brands for partnerships, filming stuff like this, or scheduling next week's content and drafting up a filming schedule, scripting out my next YouTube video, things like that. Office time is sacred time. So if you don't hear from me from the hours of 11:30 to 1:30 p.m. Central Time, it's not personal, it's business, literally. I also mentioned the importance of getting out of the house, and I like to get out to various events throughout the month. Something I don't feel like I hear often enough is how important it is to get out, meet new people, and network. Social media is amazing for growing your business, but one strategy that will literally never die is it's not what you know, it's who you know. I actually haven't been to a networking event in quite some time, but I definitely attended my fair share and met some amazing people. And now as a stay-at-home mom, that's become a bit more challenging and truthfully not nearly as fun. I've been able to find multiple local groups based on my interests that meet in person, and I go. I'm also the city leader for an amazing organization that meets up once a month for brunch. Even casual mom playdates are a great way to meet new people. While I don't recommend joining these groups just so you can span them with your business and your products, I do recommend joining to meet new people, make new friends, and broaden your network of potential new customers. Because you never know when someone is going to need help with their makeup routine or getting into wellness or on the hunt for an interior designer. This also fills up that social cup that we have as moms and individuals. I know a playdate might not seem like much, but when you romanticize it a little bit by getting dressed, doing your makeup, doing your hair, maybe getting a Starbucks along the way, catching up with your friends, it takes it to a whole new level. And film that whole process because everything can be content. Quick pause, because I hope you noticed that I didn't say everything is content, because I believe in firm boundaries with this. For instance, my husband has actually respectfully asked that I don't include him in my socials for his own privacy preferences, but also from a professional standpoint for his job. We also choose not to show our son Eli for a plethora of reasons. I don't believe everything is, nor should it be, content, but everything certainly can be. You just need to choose the parts that you want to show. Know what I mean? The second best practice, which we kind of already talked about, is film your life as you live it. I previously shared that I will film my life as I live it because the reality is I don't have the luxury of time to create whenever I want to. But the great news is B-roll or behind the scenes content works really well right now on social media. So why not take advantage and film while I'm doing the task that I need to get done while we're romanticizing it at the same time. I recently started this new series that complements this one, but the content is made for short form video platforms like Instagram, TikTok, called Come Build a Six-Figure Business with Me While My Boss Naps. Instead of saying, this is what I got done while my son naps, I'm sprucing it up a little bit by incorporating my humor and my very real look of building a business during nap time and the pockets of my day. I also posted another reel similar to this where I showed everything I got done before my son woke up, but it didn't perform nearly as well. But that just means I need to take a romantic approach and spice it up a little with some humor and some different edits. So don't be afraid to try new things. I hear people often complain about how their life is boring and no one wants to watch, when we know that's not true. You just need to romanticize it a bit to entice people to want to watch more. There are so many moms just like me trying to build a business from home, and we are doing it during nap time. There's nothing special about what I'm doing, but instead of going the basic route, I'm incorporating my personality, my branding, my humor, my experiences to share a different perspective. I also highly encourage filming when you're out and about. I know filming in public isn't comfortable, a little embarrassing at first, but as I like to tell myself, I'm getting paid paid to do this, and it's part of my job. I do want to pause again because I want to emphasize the key word that I just used is job, because it's exactly how you need to treat this if you want to get paid like a job. Just like being a mom is an important job, being a wife, being a friend, sister, an important job that comes with responsibilities. Not to say that this is a chore or you're being forced to do it, but if you want to actually make some good money from growing your social media and gaining more customers, making some sales, start treating it like a job so you actually get paid like one. What I'm saying? So combining the first tip of stacking your tasks and the second one of filming, whenever I'm going to a fun event, whether it's a play day or a brunch, film it. Especially if it's an event that's out of the ordinary, it can be something fun to use for content, even if it's just B-roll. And while you're on your way there, turn on that podcast episode, turn on a training of some kind, a resource that's going to help you progress in your business. Stack those tasks. Okay, the third and final best tip I have for you is to get help and delegate. So currently I have 2 hired contractors and 1 babysitter nana that helps free up some of my time during the week to build my business. First is my virtual assistant. She takes on some of the time-consuming tasks in my day, such as responding to all of my comments on my socials, sending links to those that ask for them, answering frequently asked questions, and making sure my customers are happy and taken care of. She works 5 hours a week, 1 hour per day, and I pay her a flat fee every single month. Second is my amazing video editing team that I already talked about at the beginning of this video. They free up so much of my time by taking on these longer form videos that I post on YouTube as well as on Insta and TikTok. I usually have them do my vlogs because working through all of that footage takes quite a bit of time, as well as the educational ones just like this that require a little bit more advanced editing that I could learn myself, but there are others that are much better and faster at it than I am, so I'd much rather just have them do it. The Editor's Connection is an invaluable resource and I highly recommend checking them out. I've linked their info and a discount code to redeem when you decide to sign up with them. They're professional, they're fast, they have great communication, and I always feel very taken care of. They have the ability to learn your specific style of editing and works with you until you love the final product. Be sure to check them out, and a big thanks to them for sponsoring a portion of this video. Aside from my paid contractors, I also have my mom who comes over twice a week to give me some time to work in my office while also taking care of a few light housework things like laundry or cooking. My dad will also come by in the afternoons to spend a little quality time with their grandson, so it's a win-win across the board. Now, before my parents made the move to Wisconsin last August, I didn't have any help. I worked primarily during Eli's nap times as well as before he woke up and after he went to bed. Right now, I'm actually filming this on a Saturday and my husband is hanging out with him outside, which again is a win-win because my husband works full-time. He doesn't get as much time to be with his son. So this again is a win-win. I can get some office time to work, film, and get things done while he spends quality time with Eli. Don't be afraid to ask for help or to hire people on, even friends, to watch your littles to get a few extra hours in your day. But I also completely understand if that's not something you're comfortable with yet, or maybe you don't have the investment to do that, but you need to make the absolute most of your time that you do have to work. Don't get distracted by scrolling your phone or tasks that can easily be done while your littles are awake. Stay focused, stay disciplined. So as we wrap up this episode, I want to encourage you to find a system that helps you track your content, posting, as well as home life tasks. Great systems I recommend for this are Trello and Notion, which both have free options, or if you're working with a bigger team and want something a little bit more robust, Monday.com is another great option. All of them have apps so you can take them on the go. I know systems, routines, operations don't really sound all that glamorous, but when you have them, your life and your sanity will become a whole lot better, I promise. I hope you enjoyed this episode of my new series, Building a Six-Figure Business as a Stay-at-Home Mom. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and tune in for the next episode. In the meantime, you can join me on Instagram or TikTok for more daily posts. And that's it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.